What's up, everybody? This is our college basketball big game breakdown from March 11th. My name is Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What's up?
We've got Bam in the control booth this time.
Yo.
We are actually going to be recording our For the Money golf episode right after this, so be on the lookout for that. That's why we've got Bam in studio. We've got full function of all the cameras. I went 1-1 on Tuesday. You've got one more left in play. It looked like it was going to – it very nearly could have been a 2-0 day for me. Cincinnati minus 10.5, I think, is what I had. They were up 9 at halftime. They were up 15 in the second half, and then completely just – I think they won by 7, but it's a flawed Cincinnati team. It's a team that can hang in there with anybody. They have a lot of talent. Not the biggest fan of Wes Miller, if I'm being honest. But then we got to the window with BYU, who also played with their food a little bit, eerily reminiscent of the Texas Tech game. BYU was playing K-State, they shot 60+% from the three-point line, just like Texas Tech did in that first half. And then BYU made adjustments. Debanza went crazy, 40-point game. So 1-1 day. As I said, I expected regression. I've kind of just been going 500 since we were on the hot streak, and we haven't really necessarily given much back other than the juice, but we got to get a positive day under our belt. I'm going to have 3 plays for Wednesday. You're going to have just the one?
Yep.
Okay. We will dive into it. And this is there's still games yet to be played, and we're in conference championship week. So it's a gauntlet of a week where it's like there's certain matchups you may be looking at that the lines aren't out yet. Like I said, BYU just finished. So we're trying to find the best way to get to the window here. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. First play for me is going to be, I believe, an 11 a.m. tip. I'm looking at Pitt taking on NC State. Money has come in on the Wolfpack here. Pitt got the 1-point win over Stanford in the first round. NC State had a first-round bye. Pitt is brutally bad offensively, but they kind of make up for it with the offensive rebounding. If you look at in that game against Stanford, they were 20-7 in favor of Pitt on the offensive glass. And the first meeting against NC State, 26-8 on the offensive glass. In that first meeting, NC State won the game by 9 on the road, so still a quality win. But long story short, Pitt's just not a very good team. It's a struggle for them. The best thing they do is crash the glass, I guess, because it's been a bit of a struggle. I'm hesitant to back NC State, who is arguably playing their worst basketball at the worst time, 4 straight losses. And now we're getting to the win. We're getting on them a little bit late with the money that's come in. But I'll go ahead and lay 8.5 with NC State as my first play for Wednesday. Which way are you going for your first one?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Cincinnati versus UCF in the Big 12 Conference Championship Tournament. It's 2 teams that are kind of trending in opposite directions. I feel like Cincinnati's playing a little bit better basketball now than they were to start Big 12 play earlier in the year. And then UCF, their last 8 games, they're 3-5. It's going to be their first game on the neutral court. These teams played twice. They split the series. The first game, UCF won by 1 point, 73-72. And the second game, this was later on in the season, Cincinnati won by 20, 92-72. It's just, I wonder if on the neutral site, UCF's offense is going to be enough to carry them here against a really good Cincinnati defense. So we'll take Cincinnati minus 2.5.
Yeah, they played great defensively. Offensively, it's just I don't get it. I don't get the it's like we have a lot of guys who can't shoot threes, but we're going to jack them up. And the way that game played out, they should have covered. Up 9 at half, like I said, you're up 15 in the second half. Baba Miller had a serious advantage when he put the ball on the floor. He's just not aggressive enough. He wants to pass it, and he's really a quality passer. But there comes a time where you got to go to the basket, and we got to stop letting Jizzle James take contested pull-ups to fucking nowhere. But Celestine, he's their best shooter. It was a poor performance from the guards in this one. But yeah, I do think that they have the talent and the capabilities to hang in there with anybody, especially they really did play extremely well defensively. My next one, we're going to look at, I think it's 11:30, so we got a couple games early. LSU taking on Kentucky in the first round of the SEC tournament. It is no secret it's been an extremely disappointing season for LSU. I would imagine Matt McMahon's days are numbered. There's now rumors circulating that maybe we will try to make a play for old Will Wade, bring him back. I think the size of Kentucky's a bad matchup here for LSU. It's a team who can't shoot threes. You put Oweh on McKinnon, who's their leading scorer and really the only outside threat. Oweh's one of the better on-ball defenders in the country. You put him on McKinnon, and then they have the size to hang with everybody else. LSU's offense is not bad for what it's worth, but the defense is a revolving door. They struggle to stop anybody. It's honestly disgusting to watch. So I think defensively, this Kentucky team is pretty good defensively. They have the size to bother LSU, and then when you throw in the fact that LSU can't guard anybody, it's been a disappointing season for Kentucky. They're 19-12. This is Mark Pope's second season in the wake of Calipari leaving, going to Arkansas. I'm not saying there's necessarily extra motivation, but you're going to want to have a good showing here in the SEC tournament after another, I would say, a letdown of a season for Kentucky basketball standards. So I'll go ahead and lay 7.5 points with Kentucky as my second play for the day. And you're done, correct?
Yep.
All right. Next one for me, third and final. Looks like money. This is not the game I'm on, but we were talking about it before. It looks like money came in on SMU a little bit. You can get a 5.5 with Louisville. God, I want to do it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait. My third and final play, 8 p.m. tip. Second round of the Big Ten tournament. Rutgers taking on Minnesota. Very short and sweet. There's no Crocker Johnson for Minnesota. He's going to miss this one, it appears. Leading rebounder, second leading scorer. He's a really good player. He wasn't with Minnesota in the first meeting against Rutgers when they won 80-61. At 4.5 points, it just feels too light. I think it should be more. I think Minnesota's better than Rutgers. I don't think Rutgers is that good of a team. I think they're a scrappy team, but I think Minnesota has the edge in this one. So I'm going to lay 4.5 points with the Golden Gophers, even with no Crocker Johnson on the court, and try to get a winning day under our belt. I was on the fence on one. We were talking about, I touched on it a little bit on yesterday's episode. It got to the window. We would have had a 2-in-1 day, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. We're back with 3 plays today, or for Wednesday. I'm going NC State minus 8.5, Kentucky minus 7.5, Minnesota minus 4.5.
We're going Cincinnati minus 2.5.
There you go. That is our best bets for Wednesday. We will figure out what we're doing for Thursday. Conference championship week rolls on. Good luck.